Question: do you consider yourself a successful person? Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I love, love, love to help people keep their money. I also like to help people keep their sanity sometimes, and sometimes we veer off slightly over exactly, always and forever. Speaking about saving and frugality, there's a big world out there, and sometimes I branch it off a little bit more and sort of deep dive into other things because I find that that's a very important thing to do. And it actually is all related because the more successful you are or you feel about yourself, in my opinion, you will be more apt to produce, you'll be more apt to work smarter as well as harder, and you will be challenging to yourself, and that ultimately, in my honest opinion, lead to financial success. Okay. How successful do you rate yourself? If you were to take an imaginary poll, how I rate myself success wise. Okay, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you don't have to tell me your number. How do you rate yourself? 1 being the lowest level of the success, 10 being the highest level of success. This is actually not a simple question to answer. It's actually not, because it all depends on what you consider to be success. There's all kinds of success. Well, what do I mean by success? As a person, a human being, success as a friend. Are you a successful friend? Are you kind to others? Open minded, respectful. That's a successful friendship, in my opinion. Or are we only dwelling on the financial success? Now, don't get me wrong. I talk about frugality, budgeting, all this and all that constantly. So obviously, financials are very, very important in life, of course. But we have to also remember there are other forms of success. So let's narrow it down into a couple of categories, okay? Let's say category 1. Are you financially successful? What number would you give yourself, rate yourself between 1 and 10? Next, are you successful in how you treat others, in your behavior, your demeanor? Be honest with yourself. This is not a right or wrong answer. It's one of those answers that you're going to be honest with yourself. Okay. Number 3 is going to be a fill in the blank. Okay. What can I do to improve upon my future success? Now that could be a little tough. Okay, that could be a little tough. We live in challenging times. I put on the news briefly, briefly, but when I do, sometimes I walk away, my head is literally spinning, and I say, "Why did I just do that?" But sometimes you just have to keep current. And I ask myself, what kind of success am I finding? How am I gaining anything, any value? I'll tell you, when I listen to certain stories, I say to myself, this is not the person, the human being that I personally wish to be. Or conversely, something on the news may be very sweet and positive and, human interest story. It makes you inspired and makes you feel glad about a lot of things. Or conversely, I might say to myself, that is the person I would like to model. Now, we're never going to be the other person. No one could be someone else. You're always you. Okay. But I want to talk about success from this. Sometimes we let negative information about ourselves from people from our past hinder or hamper us in our current or future success. If I could take an order, like a bottle of cleaner, okay, if I could take an ordinary bottle of cleaner, something, this is actually some cleaner. Okay, if I could take a little bottle of cleaner and spray it inside of our brains to wash away all the useless, senseless, ridiculous, negative information that we have heard in the past, I wish I could do that. So I can't do that, but we could mentally cleanse our minds of that. Take an imaginary, the erasers that your teacher used on the old fashioned blackboards, like a real blackboard with like chalk, with those kind of erasers that on a Friday afternoon somebody would go out into the schoolyard and clap the erasers to get rid of all the excess chalk dust. Take a nice, clean, imaginary blackboard eraser in your mind. You got those blackboard, remember your teacher like wiping off the chalk back in the day? Instead, you're wiping out all that negative input that in some people's case literally has hampered them from going forward and becoming a successful person in life. Take all that negative garbage away and start fresh. I am a firm believer in reboots. I am a firm believer in do-overs. I am a firm believer of when a person owns up to themselves and admits they can do better in an area and try again. Yay. Yay. Because trying is succeeding. Now, some people may disagree with that, but I'm sorry. I encourage it. Trying is succeeding. Okay. I look at it this way: better to try than never to try. Because one day you're going to try and it will be a success. But if you give up easily and stop trying, it's never going to happen. I would not be having this conversation with you right now if I listened to my original small voice in my head when I was first starting this platform. It just wasn't moving at all. Like the needle wasn't moving. Like, what is going on? I feel like I'm just, like standing on a mountain going, hello, 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 and getting that echo sound. The old echo sound? That's what I heard in my head. Okay. So I was encouraged by Money Mom. Yes, Money Mom was like, no, I was ready to say, no, I'm done now. This was fun. Good night. And that's it. I'm done. Money Mom was like, no, there are some inspiring people in our lives, just like there are those negative voices that we just washed away with the eraser, cleaned up with the eraser. Guess what? There are inspiring people in our lives. So she planted that seed in my head to keep going, because I was like, literally, she heard it in my voice on the phone when I'm like, this was okay. Now I'm done. She's like, no. And I never forgot it. But even though she pointed me, Dawn, in the right direction, ultimately it was up to me to run with it. A person could throw the ball, a person can inspire, but ultimately you have to run with it. Is there something stopping you? I'm not just referring to channels, creation, and platforms and being a content creator. I'm talking about in life in general. Take that minute, take a quiet minute, and that is the key. A quiet moment. Do you get a quiet moment? If you don't get a quiet moment, you have to create a quiet moment. Maybe you just have to go into your car by yourself and just shut the world off around you to think and evaluate where you are. Now, that's that for that. But today, it's about enjoying each success. Look back on your past successes. For some reason, people can easily relate back to the past failures. That I don't understand. Like, well, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. Why is that so easy to pull up in our mental files? I don't know. So this time around, you're going to take a little longer, go to that quiet place, whether it's in your car, whether it's when the kids are asleep, whatever quiet moment you have, sit down and literally write down and look at it. Writing things down and looking at it makes that thing real. We spend so much time, focusing on the negative aspects. Please take that extra minute when you might have saved someone's life by giving them an encouraging word or two. Or call someone up that was very lonely on the other side of town. You can't get there, but you took a minute and called them and let them know that you care. Send somebody some flowers just to make their day. To me, those are successful moments. Success does not have to be on a grand grandiose level, like world renowned. If it's a success in your world, then it's huge. And it should be huge. And it's huge to you. So take that minute, look back on your past successes, and stop not doing that, because that is really important. I had to talk to you about being successful because there are so many different types of success. It's not just about monetary success. Now, I would like my channel to be successful, but I need your help. And I need you to do the following. I really appreciate your being here, and I hope that this message helped at least one person today. Take good care. Bye-bye.